Okay, looks like I'm live. Yeah, here we are. Okay, hi everybody. I'm guessing that I don't have too many people watching tonight because I forgot to tell Joey to remind you. Oh, and I don't think he's around. No, he's downstairs. He's just, I don't know. His calendar's off too. He forgot to remind me to remind him. What can I say? So Joey didn't remind you. Hi, Susie. And I haven't been available for the last week or two. So I guess everybody got out of the habit of watching on Wednesday night. But I'll be back now, I hope, for good, right? Hi, Brenda. Um, Lots of stuff going on right now. I don't know if there's lots of stuff going on now or if because I haven't been around for a couple of weeks, maybe it just seems like a lot. But well, first thing I want to tell everybody is I have made the decision that the Wednesday night library thing just isn't working out for me. Hi, Connie. Um, uh, it isn't necessarily that it isn't working out, but I've only had one or two people coming in for it. Hi, Karen. And for me to pack everything up, to plan a class, get there, make the kids the whole bit, get there and nobody shows up, yeah, not working. So I'm going to talk to them at the library, and I just want to give you a heads up about this. I'm going to talk to them at the library and see if we can go with a sign up basis. That way, people sign up with me. Then I make that number of kits. I am ready for you when you come. Everything can run smoothly and we can do this the first Wednesday night of the month. If nobody signs up by Wednesday morning, I'm not going to be there. So that's how we're going to do it from now on. And so I'm going to plan on being live on Facebook Wednesday night because I'm going to plan on not really being at the library unless people are dying to have the class. But I just don't want to show up and have nobody be there. And so that's how we're going to do that from now on. Works out, okay? But I will be there Wednesday, November 27th. That is the day before Thanksgiving. I did check with the library and they're going to be there. So 1:30 on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we will have a class at the Werner's Library. 1:30 to 3:30. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. So December 4th would be the first evening class with signups. Have to sign up at the library by 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. If you're not signed up by 9 o'clock Wednesday morning, I'm not going to show up. Okay, let's enough of that. Stampin' Up seasonal sale. Yep, it's a big one. I mean, it's like Stampin' Up doesn't do a whole lot of sales, so this is a pretty good thing. Except it's only stuff in the annual catalog. Okay, right up front, I want to tell you that. 10% off ink pads, refills, markers, blends, anything ink is 10% off. 10% off cardstock, all your cardstock, 20% off bundles, stamp bundles, stamp and die, stamp and punch bundles, 20% off. Now, what the 20% off basically is you already get 10% because it's a bundle. You get another 10% off. So it ends up being 20%. And 20% off designer series paper. And this is where I caution you, it's only annual catalog because I went to order some Christmas paper and it wouldn't come up with a sale price. And I'm going, what's going on here? Well, then I figured out what was going on. Sale price only. Okay. Also, for you guys who are signed up as demonstrators, which I think at this point everybody that's on it is, I'm going to tell you that The January mini catalog and the celebration brochure are now out there for you to look at digitally. Um, so you can take a quick peek at those catalogs. Also, there's going to be some new online exclusives, and that's going to be out there on the 19th, which is what, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, you'll be able to actually pre order from the mini catalog and celebration brochure. So take a look at that. And for, I know you guys are all demos, but if anybody watches this recording on YouTube later, just know that you have to join my team to get a sneak peek at this stuff if you like that idea. It's only available to demonstrators. We get to actually go out there and order stuff ahead of time. And I'll tell you what, these days it just seems like everybody's having supply shortages. There are problems getting things. Things are on back order. If you're a demonstrator, you get first dibs at this stuff, and you need to get out there and order it ahead of time because as soon as it gets out to the public, it ends up being gone. Um, the one other thing I just wanted to mention is there's two new kits every month. The beginning of each month they come out. This month's are really cool if you like this sort of thing. Okay, one is called Nature's Paintings, and I'm sorry I don't have them. They're ordered, but I didn't get them yet. I'll probably show them to you next week when they come in. Nature's Paintings, which is uh, coloring. It's colored pencils. Okay, the kit has colored pencils in it, and I think it's really cool because it looks like watercolor, so you get done coloring with it. The other one is called Layered Landscapes. You get four little frames. They're cardboard frames, but they're sturdy. They're nice and pretty landscape scenes to put in them. So it looks like it's going to be a nice kit. So that's enough of that. Let's move on and do some cards. Okay. I think I told you everything that I needed to tell you for today. Excuse me. So so yeah, I'm going to take myself out of the picture here. Go to that, and I can tell you what we're going to do tonight. We are going to work with Shepherd's Care, the Shepherd's Care stamp set. I wasn't real sure what to do with this stamp set when I got it. I I I don't know. Had mixed emotions, but I figured some stuff out. So we're gonna do some of them. We're gonna use some of this ephemera kit also. These these are kind of neat. Um, you can get a pack of basically all these different sayings for Christmas. It has two sheets of each. So there's two sheets of this, two sheets of this, two sheets of this, and two of this. And you just punch them out and stick them on either with glue or um, dimensionals. So it makes things a little bit easier sometimes. And I'm going to use one of these for the Shepherd's Care card. So we'll be getting to that in a second. And then after we're finished with the Shepherd's Care, I'm going to use a template. And I love this template. And I'm going to show it to you and show you how to use it, what to do with it. It's kind of cool. Okay. So we're going to start out with our Shepherd's Care. Now, here's the card. And wow, you know what I'm going to do here, guys? I haven't done this for a while either. Barb did not watch last time. Linda wins this card. Linda's not on, but Linda was on last time. Oh, there's Carol. Hi, Carol. Linda was on last time, so Linda is going to eat this card. This is the Shepherd's Care. This is a very, very simple card, honestly. And can you see the sparkle? I don't know if you can see the there. I have some Winkostella on this. Okay, anyway, um what I'm doing, I am using the Skeleton Contours dies. Now, these are no longer available, and that is a shame because I'll tell you what, I use these a lot. I love them. And I guess there's some that are somewhat comparable, but I just think they're very dainty looking and I like them. And so I'm using that. Um, let's see, the Scalloped Contours. And I used one of the Christmas die sets that have this saying on it. Now, you know, I usually stamp first, cut later, but in this case, we had to do it this way. So that's how it's going to be. Okay. I'm going to use crumb cake. And I'm just going to stamp the shepherd and the lamb in the crumb cake, but I'm going to stamp off first. And in fact, that's why this paper was sitting here, because I was actually using it to stamp off. I get the most out of this graph paper. I bleed it. So I'm going to stamp off because I don't want it quite as dark as it would be. And then I'm going to just put this guy here, like so. So it's a little tiny bit lighter than it would be otherwise. And in fact, you're going to see that because I am now going to stamp the star without stamping off. And that's going to be dark. That's going to go up in this corner. Okay. Then for this one, I'm going to stamp this saying, or this label, peace on earth. And guys, I don't know if you saw these or not, but Stampin' Up is now selling close to my heart items. And they had these, and I don't know if they still have them because they were running everything on sale, but it's die cut word strips. So it's basically labels, a whole bunch of labels, and they're already die cut and ready to go. And they're really kind of nice. They're heavy, they're very thick. There's only one sheet in a pack. Excuse me, but they were on sale, so they were only like $2 or $3. I mean, they weren't very expensive. So I don't know if they still have them, but it's worth taking a look to see. That's not what this is, but it is what this one is. Okay. On the sample. So I'm going to just stamp the piece on earth there. Then I'm going to take a water painter. And this is something you may or may not want to do. I like the watercolor effect that you get when you do this. So that's why I'm doing it. And if you don't want to do it, that is entirely fine because this looks pretty cool just the way it is. But all I'm going to do is get my brush a little bit tiny wet. Yeah, tiny little bit wet. And just kind of go over all the spots. You can see how it already was. It already was pretty smeary, like faded to look like watercolor, but this I think adds to it. So I just like doing this. It doesn't make a lot of difference, but it makes a little tiny bit of a difference. It's basically just taking the ink and smearing it around a little bit. Okay, that's that. That's easy. This is a really simple card too, guys. It's not a lot to it. I thought I had all the pieces cut already. Yeah, here they are. Okay, so my card base is going to be basic beige. And it is Of course, my standard card base, 5 1/4. I mean 5 1/2. It, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a crumb cake. Crumb cake background, which I did not cut. I don't know why I didn't cut it, but I didn't. And that, let me make sure I measured this right. Should be, it's 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. 3 1/2. Oh, okay. I remember now. 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Basically, guys, the reason it's this odd shape, odd size, is because I used this and I just added about 1/4 of an inch all the way around to it. Isn't it pretty, Karen? It's just so simple, but it's, I don't know, it's just elegant looking, kind of, I guess. I don't know, it's pretty. I'm going to put just a dribble of glue in the back of this. And glue it right to the center. And then we are going to use dimensionals to put it on our card front. And we're going to put it, just for interest, just for different, up and to the right. And our piece on earth is going to go down toward the bottom. Now, I goofed because on my other one, I put it down here on the bottom. Let me show you, because it was thinner. This one's heavier, thicker, so I can't put it down there. So I'm going to put it here or here. Yeah, I'll put it right there. So I'm going to glue this half and put this half on a dimensional, just so that it does hang off a little bit. I'm just trying to throw it off a little bit. I don't want it to be exactly symmetrical. You may, but I just thought it would look good off balance a little bit, right? So there it is. Now the big element here is the star. So of course I'm going to use my Winker Stella on the star because it's what I do. I love Winker Stella. If you don't have it, you need to get it. You'll be putting it on everything like I do. Okay. So Stampin' Up came out with their list of top people for different things, and they get awards and stuff. So I did get leadership team building, Yeah, leadership and team building this year. Um, so that was pretty good. I was pleased with that. The other thing I think I might want to, well, no, yeah, I think it could use some sequins, and I like the brown, and I just have to find them because I was trying to straighten things up, and you know how you try to straighten things up and you kind of lose things. Yeah, well, that's what's been happening here. I have just been mislocating. Is that a word? A lot of things. Yeah, I don't seem to see those sequins anywhere. I know I have them, but I just don't know where. I thought I had them right here with my Christmas stuff, but apparently I thought wrong. So I'm not going to do it at the moment. I do have some stars. These are left over from last year, and they would look really cute right there in the middle. But I know it would be very Brexy for the mailman, so I'm not going to do that. You know how that goes. Yeah, extra postage and being returned because no, don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to just let it go right the way it is. I have some of my flake paper here for the insert. Oh, thanks, guys. You know, it's you guys that give me that stuff, though, that get me those awards because the team building, of course, is for having a team, and the leadership is also for having a team. The team building is for getting new team members. Leadership is for keeping them, and you guys are my team members. And flex paper, Karen, fleck paper, FLECK, fleck. Okay, so can you see the flecks on that paper? What I do is it's just a tiny little bit heavier of a grade of copy paper, and it's cheaper than using the cardstock. And I use it for the insides of my cards. Susie, yeah, just got some organizers and move things around. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? You get organizers and it just gets you totally disorganized, right? I don't know how that happens, but it does. It happens every time. Yeah, so that's the fleck paper. I just use that inside, and I'm going to stamp a greeting inside, but I'm not real tickled pink with the greetings that came in that set. Sorry, but I'm just not. So I'm going to try and look for something. Now, Stampin' Up came out with a lot of greeting sets this year. So, um, okay, I think this is just terrific. May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. That works fine for the inside of this. And then there's a little star in here, just a little tiny one. I'm going to put that, and some snowflakes. Look at this. See, this is one of the things that I do like about this stamp set. It has a little, like, almost Bethlehem, I guess it's supposed to be, little town. And I'm going to put that on the inside. And then it has these, it just has a lot of little fillers, which are always nice to have. I'm going to put the star. Or not, because it just kind of looks like a big old blob. Yeah, okay, I don't like the way that star looks, so I'm not going to use that. Um, and it just kind of ended up like a big old blob there on the top. So I'm going to redo everything on the other side because I don't like the way that looks. Put that there. I'm going to put that down here. And let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to put those on either. We'll just leave it like that. So the other day, Saturday, they had a craft day at our church. Conrad Weiser always has their big craft sale the Saturday before Labor Day, Labor Day, before Veterans Day. So that was on Saturday. But the church had this craft day where somebody, oh, look at me. I only did one. I wanted to do two. Um, they got all of the things that they needed. Somebody comes up with an idea and everybody makes something. And there was about 50 ladies that showed up. It was really nice. It was a lot of fun. Brenda, where do I get the flex? I get it from Office Supply. And I think, oh, I didn't want to do that. I think any office supply store probably has it, but actually I got it on Amazon this time. And you get a ream of it. It's cheaper than getting cardstock. And I figure I'd like to get the cardstock to do the fronts and this, but for doing this insert, since it's something that I glue in anyway, I can use something a little cheaper. And I'm using a tape runner for the inside so I don't get lumps. And done. So that's the first one. And then watch that it doesn't get too close to the edge, which I did. I got that too close to the edge there. It may get caught on things and rip up. That's not a good thing. Okay, guys, that's that. Card number 2 is very, very similar, except I'm going to use the ephemera, the piece on earth, just to show you how much easier it is and how nice it is to use this. Okay, I'm going to use this. And I kind of thought that one was a pretty peacock. So I have pretty peacock. Now I could use, I honestly think I'm going to use the crumb cake to stamp. Thank you, Connie. Because I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this is going to get stamped and it's going to get put right down on here with this. If I do this in Pretty Peacock, And actually, I don't know that that even matches. I'm thinking maybe I might have to switch that out to Lost Lagoon. Let me just look and see. Oh no, that's no, that's right. Okay, that's the one. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stamp it in crumb cake because I think it's too much. If it would be too much if I used Pretty Peacock, and I cut two of these at a time. Guys, I've been having so much trouble with my wrists and my hands lately, my thumbs, my wrists, everything. And it just kills my wrist to use my embossing machine. And so I've been avoiding cutting my die cutter. I've been avoiding using the die cutter because it just hurts. And I thought, well, what an idiot. Last year, I told my husband I really, really wanted this electric die cutter, and he got it for me, and I'm not using it. Now, that's just stupid. So, guess what? I got it out and I was using it, and oh my gosh, what a lifesaver that was! It was incredible. So, I'm using it like crazy now. Once again, I'm going to stamp him on here. Um, what might be a little interesting here is would be to maybe take a tiny little bit of the Pretty Peacock ink and just kind of color it, add a little bit of it here and there. You know, it just maybe even to do it this way. Yeah, guys, how is this for planning? I had the card planned, and this was not part of the plan. But as I'm doing it, I'm thinking about this and thinking, you know what? That would look kind of neat. So, okay, I got a little bit of ink here on the inside of my lid. And I'm going to squeeze it on down in. Maybe. Trying to get a little water. There it is. Okay, little water in here. Get it wet. This not sure. Just not sure if I like that or not. The bad part about this is you can't tell whether you like it or not until it's dry. And I don't want to have to make you wait until it's dry for me to decide if I like it or not. I'm going to really add a whole lot more water to this to make it more watercolory, more of a wash, which is going to really ripple up the water, but that's, I mean, really ripple up the card. But it's okay because once I glue it down, it'll be all right. Yes, Susie, it does do embossing. It's great. I love it. I really do. It's a Sizzix stitch. And I got that. I don't remember if I got that from scrapbooking.com or if I got it from Amazon. I kind of think it, geez, I don't remember. Okay, I don't know that I like it. It's too dark. I really wanted it to be a very faint wash, and it got too dark, so I don't like the way that looks. So I'm going to put that aside. Luckily, I cut an extra one, and I'm going to wipe this ink off the lid because that really made a mess. So, guys, now you see what not to do. Um, right? Or you see how to figure things out. Like, now I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. And it may dry acceptable, but right now, the way it looks, and you know what's funny is I'm looking at it on the camera and it actually looks kind of nice. But when I'm looking at it in person and I don't like it. So I'm going to redo just the crumb cake again, stamp it off and put it on here. Smudge these lines a little bit with the water. I have a residue of the blue on my brush, and I might get the effect that I was looking for that way. But okay, that's good enough. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to just attach it directly to the front. I was, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I could put a crumb cake background on it, or even this light, the crumb cake or the beige. If it was very close, I think the beige might look nice. So I might do that. Let me grab a piece of the basic beige here. That one's embossed. Yeah, Susie, I can even do two cuts at a time. So like when I was doing these, I ran it through and that might work. Stamping off with the pretty peacock and then doing the wash. But I'm gonna let this go for now, just like this. And I might try another one off camera and see how that works. I went this really, really, really close. So I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to cut it just like this. Because I wanted it really close. I got it really close. Okay. What else? What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, Susie, I was telling you about the die cutter that I got. It doesn't go fast. So like my original thought was that I'd be able to just ring through a bunch of classes. If I have to cut out 12 images, I'll be able to just zip them through. And then it's not going to zip through, but it's so much easier. I mean, it really is nice. I'm so glad I had it. And like I said, my hands and my wrists were killing me. So that was just a lifesaver. It really, really was. And again, I'm going to put my dimensionals on, and I'll probably center this one. Oh, I forgot to stamp the star. That's not good. But on this one, okay, I'm going to try something else. I'm going to just fussy cut the star. Because it's base, it's a pretty basic star. It shouldn't really be a big. Plus, this is going to go right about there. Nope, don't like that either. Okay, guys, I have another idea though. I have a star punch. Somewhere. There it is. This is from last year, and this actually almost looks like it is that star. Gosh darn it, I think it might be. So, there it is. Okay, and then put on the link of Stella, and it's ready to go. It's going to actually stand up a little bit, and that'll look pretty cute. Then I can put it up on a dimensional, which was kind of what I intended to do. There. And on the inside, I will do the same thing I did on the other two. Okay. The next card I want to do. So this is basically the same as the other one, but it's a little different. Just, just to kind of switch things up a little bit. So there's that one. Oh, that one. This one. So I like that. I like this star. Yeah. the punch worked great, and I like it better that way. So if you have that, that's unfortunately not available anymore. But if you happen to have it from last year, you're in luck because it works to punch that out. Okay, this one is a template. I told you. Um, you know how when I see a card design, and in the catalog, they have a couple of templates that they just show you the pictures of. And I honestly can't tell you where I got this one from because I don't remember, but I like it. So, what I do when I find a card template that I like, I use my scraps. I keep a basket full of scraps and I just kind of write all the measurements on it. Some of them, I actually have a couple here that I started doing on index cards that I can then write on the back when I find something else to do. Like on this one, you could use a note card and put it sideways instead of like this. This is a real simple template. Um, so that's how I do my templates. So I have this one here. I have all the measurements written down. And we're going to do this one with a piece of the Winter Meadow cardstock or DSP. I have Misty Meadow cardstock and a white base. Let me grab the white base. That's here. And I actually am not going to stamp this one too much, I don't think. I might try to use the ephemera pack. I'll see if we can. Okay, I'm going to start with our base, of course. Score it. At 4 1/4. Now, my first layer is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And hopefully that is what this is. Yes, it is. Good. Okay, so I have that piece is for 4 by 5 1/4. Now I'm going to use white. So I'm going to have another layer here of white. And what I'm doing with this is I'm cutting it back an eighth of an inch. So I'm going to cut this 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Which unfortunately then is going to hide most of the blue. And I hate to do that. So you know what? I'm going to take off another, I'm basically taking off a quarter of an inch. Instead of an eighth. And it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything to cut it down a little bit further. I'm going to need my blue. Now here the eighths are going to count. They are going to make a difference. So I'm going 2 by 3 1/4. Give me 3 1/4 by 2. And then this one is 1 1/2 by 3. So I cut my 3 and 1 1/2. Okay, and let me just explain about this folder that you see here. I have all my paper, all my cardstock in file folders in a file drawer. So in each file folder, there is whole sheets of cardstock. But then I also have a folder like this. Inside that folder, and I put my nice sized scrap pieces. Okay, so then when I have a card like this where I need a lot of scrap, I'm going to go in here, small pieces. I'm going to go in here and dig out my small pieces and use them that way. Now, the smaller, really small pieces, they go in my scrap bin, which is what I use to make the templates. So it's just a little, I like to do it that way. Okay, 3 3/4 by a 1/2 inch I need for my banner. So I'm cutting the 1/2 inch here. I just wanted to throw that one at you just so you know what this little folder is for here. So this is the Misty Moonlight. This is going in my Misty Moonlight cardstock folder. 3 3/4 I want. And see, then this little scrap is going to get thrown in the trash because that's just too small to put in that folder. So now I have my pieces here. 2 3/4 by 2 by 3 1/4, 1 1/2 by 3, and 3 3/4 by a 1/2 inch. Okay. Now I want my designer series paper, this piece, to be 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way for all of them. Okay. But take notice, when I made my template, I used 2 different colors. I want that. I want to have one with the design, and I'm going to use the other side and get this for the other side, just to have a little difference, okay? So my designer series paper on the bigger piece is 1 7/8 by 3 1/8. By 3 1/8. So that is one. Okay, now let me just explain this to you again. So here's my template. The outside edge, the outside is 2 by 3 1/4. This is 1 7/8 instead of 2, so it's 1/8 inch shorter, and 3 1/8 instead of 3 1/4. So it's 1/8 inch narrower. So we just have a real narrow little border around of the blue. See how that worked? So now I'm knocking over things here. I knocked over my glue, I'm just dropping things everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to just glue this on here quick so I don't lose it or destroy it or anything. And you have to be careful when you're putting it on there. When you only have 1/8 of an inch around the outside edge, you really want to be careful that you keep it neat. Okay, so there's that. Now my other piece is this 1 1/2 by 3, my designer series paper piece, and I'm going to use the other side is going to be 1 3/8 by 2 7/8. So I'm going to cut the 2 7/8 first. 1 3/8, 1 2 3/8 is going to be there, but I think I'm going to use that side. I want the darker piece. 1 2 3, there's 3/8. And cut it right there. And that piece is going right there. So now here's our 2 pieces, and then we have this greeting piece that's going across here. And that, okay, something's going to hide most of this. So I don't have enough here to make the 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch. and it has to be a little narrower than 1/2 inch anyway. So I'm taking this scrap piece that I have here and I'm going to make it do. And actually, my greeting is going to go on this. So, or maybe not. If I could find something in this ephemera pack that fits there. That could just be what happens. Yep. So I'm going to glue this on. Oh, I should not be doing this over top of my cutting tool because now I just got glue all over it. So I'm going to very quickly wipe it off. And I'm going to put it away because I don't need it anymore anyway. And we're going to assemble. So we have our piece of blue is going to go on the white. And then another piece of white is going to go on the blue. And that is what I hate about this kind of these tape runners. Okay. Looks like I need a new blade on my trimmer. Okay. I can never get 1/8 border straight. Border. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, Susie. Sometimes those 1/8 borders really get crazy. They really start to get you crazy. So the bigger one you're going to put down here and kind of cockeyed a little bit, and then the little one will just go right there. You can put these on dimensionals, but I'm not going to bother because I have so many layers here. I have so much going on. It's gonna, I think it has enough dimension as it is. It's there. There. That piece is going to go across. Like that. Now, I'll tell you what I think I should do. What I would like to do here is I'm going to take my handy dandy sprig cutter, which you know I use so much. And I right now have put it somewhere, and oh my gosh. Okay, well, I have another one. See, I have this one. We'll use this one instead. I'm going to grab some garden green because I know that that's one of these colors is. And oh boy, I just happen to have a scrap of that here. And maybe a little bit of, it's going to need a little dimension, so maybe a little mossy meadow. I so much prefer using the punches to having to go die cut all these things. That's why I like these punches with the leaves like this. Yeah, those two colors work really well together. We'll just stick them right there. We'll stick our Happy Christmas there. And if you wanted to, you could even take a piece, a different punch, and take a piece of the blue. And throw that in the mix. Make your own little, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, make your own little arrangement. Carol, how's everything going at home? Your hubby, is he doing better? Doing well? I hope you're not getting too I know when somebody is in the hospital like that, it just puts such a, it can be very stressful. Sometimes you need card therapy, right? Okay, I just kind of glued those down. And then this is going to go across all of them, like so. And it sticks up as though it's on dimensionals because I layered them the way I did. And that's that. But I want something has to be on this. So I'm thinking snowflakes or sequins. I need sequins. We already had this discussion, didn't we? Sequins are missing. Oh, I know why they're missing. They're in a box. In fact, I think they're in a box that was meant to go to the library. Yep. That's where they were. Oh, sorry, Carol. Oh. Oh, yeah, Carol, you got to take some time. Take some time to relax. You know, maybe make some cards. But you do. You need to relax and just sit back and forget everything for, even if it's only for a few minutes. And we are thinking of you. Okay, gold sequins are going to go on here. So I hope to see you, Carol, at the next card making. I hope you can make it to the library at the end of the month. And if you can, I certainly do understand. Okay, a little bit of bling never hurts anything. So that's card number 3. Okay, everybody. It is that time. So here's our 3 cards. Try and get this junk out of the way. In fact, if I move these down, it hides that mess. And there we are. Whoops. Got a dimensional stuck on there. Okay, guys, have a great evening. Yes, sending hugs and prayers for a full recovery, Carol. Planning on it. I hope you're planning on taking some time off. You're welcome, Brenda. Glad you like the cards, Susie. Thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate it, and have a great rest of your evening. Good night, all.